Hello, everyone. It's Randy here with you, making NIPSCO Part 5 video. This one I was not expecting to make. But recently, our neighbors who work at NIPSCO, the blue-collar folks who actually do the work, got locked out. And I was out setting up political signs. This is Easter Sunday when I'm cutting this video. And I was out doing some signs because it was finally a sunny day, and I was driving through Crown Point and came across a picket line. I said, whoa, wait a second, I better stop in there and talk to these fellas and ladies that are being locked out. I wanted to learn what was going on, and I had a great opportunity to talk to everybody there, and you hear kind of a common story. These folks just want to work. Right now, NIPSCO has hired contractors to do the work of people who are perfectly willing, able, and skilled to do the work. You, the customer, are paying record high rates for NIPSCO to put local people out of work in favor of hired contractors. Folks, this is out of hand. And to my friends at NIPSCO, if you're watching this, the folks in management, the executives, these practices are corrupt. This kind of behavior is what's going to get the wings clipped by the legislature. And I hope they have the guts in the next legislative session to actually legislate you in a way that is representative of how out of hand your practices have gotten. As a customer of NIPSCO, I can tell you right now that if I know that a certain percentage of my rate increase is going to the folks that show up when the wind is blowing, when it's raining outside, when there's been a tornado that's come through, you'll never hear me complain once. I'd be happy to go out and give them coffee. But to bring in contractors, some from out of state, to do the same work that people that work for you right now are willing to do. And I tried to learn a little bit about what is this lockout about, because this just doesn't make sense. And it seems, from what I hear, NIPSCO is working to push a mandatory overtime requirement on everyone, but yet they want the ability to bring in contractors so they can reduce overtime. None of it makes sense. Again, you have BP Whiting and NIPSCO NiSource both locking out employees, and they're two of the most profitable companies in the entire country in industry, and you're locking out your employees. This makes absolutely no sense. For those of us that buy gasoline and petroleum products, and those of us that purchase our power, this is an insult to everyone that pays that bill. You're taking money out of communities when you do this. These union workers that work for NIPSCO, the USW 12775, a little shout out to Ryan Baker and his people. Thank you for standing up, and we appreciate everything that you're doing. These are people that support the local Little League, the local church. Their kids go to your schools. Some of them have little side businesses. They're entrepreneurs. This is when you're paying a paycheck to these people, it's staying in our communities. NIPSCO, you're not only hurting the ratepayers with your draconian, corrupt billing practices, you're hurting the workers that are our neighbors, that are people that I represent as a county councilman, and I'm pissed off and I'm tired of it. At some point, I hope that our state legislature wakes up, gets the message that we're all sick and tired of this crap. These practices of these large corporations and how they treat their people and how they treat their customers, we're all sick of it, and we're not going to take it anymore. NIPSCO, it's time to call these men and women back to work. They're willing to put in all the hours, do the hard work 7 days a week when they're called upon. And you're telling them that they can't so you can hire contractors. Well, I say BS. Time to stop acting like hogs, because pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered, like I said before. And you all, the way that you're treating your customers and your people, shameful. So, folks, if you see a picket line out there of the local NIPSCO workers, go and say hi. They want to see you. They love hearing from customers, because one thing I heard that was a common refrain was, hey, when we're called to work 7 days a week, 16-hour days, 12-hour days, whatever it takes, we do it not just for the paycheck, but we do it because we're helping our neighbors. These are people who care about the community. We need to care about them. So anyone, if you get a chance to stop by, say hello. bring them some coffee or some donuts or pizza, whatever. They're out there fighting to serve you as workers. They're fighting for their jobs, but they're fighting because they believe the customers deserve that. They deserve to have local workers doing the local work and the local communities benefiting from it. So show up for these folks. They're working hard. They work hard for us every day without us even knowing. And they need our support right now. So stand strong with the United Steelworkers at BP Whiting and at NIPSCO. They got a fight on their hands, but they can win it with our help.